Born 10 years apart and on opposite sides of the planet, two athletes set to star at this year's Paralympic Games PTVI triathlon races have, on paper, had similar trajectories in their formative time in the sport. Italy's Francesca Tarantello and Australia's Sam Harding have been shaking up the visually impaired classes over the past 48 months. Both first raced on the blue carpet in 2022 and both had, within months of their debuts, scooped Continental titles. They've both also secured their places on the Paris 2024 start line, so congratulations and welcome, Sam and Francesca, to the pod.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Great to have you on. Thought a good place to start would be you as people, and then we can discuss the athletic side of things further down the line. Sam, guitars in the background. I was doing a little Instagram sort of spying session earlier as well in preparation, obviously. Tell me you're in a band with Aussie gymnast Tyson Bull, please. Is this?
Well, yeah, no, so I was living with Tyson for 4 years, but I've swapped Tyson out now for another gymnast, Clay Stevens. So he's currently first reserve for the Australian team, but he's far better than me. But yeah, no band.
Gymnastics or at music?
Both.
What's it like living with a gymnast?
Yeah, I don't know. They're a bit precious sometimes, but no, Clay's great. We've kind of got almost different opposite training schedules. So like we're kind of so last year we were living together, and I think we only had about 3 months living together. We're in the same household at the same time. So yeah, competition schedules are pretty different, and I know it's kind of good sometimes, but yeah, we never get sick of each other, I guess.
But you did I see you did actually release an album a couple of years ago?
No, that must have me confused for someone else. I'm just a bit of a hack, really.
I swear there was like, or were you just joking on there? On your feed, there was something about like, album coming up, and then you added Tyson on there or something, no?
Yeah, that was just a bit of clickbait. Nothing more.
Damn, I've been baited. That's
It happens.
Yeah, it does. And yeah, so like I said, born sort of 10 years apart, you two. Francesca, you're still only 22, is that right?
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, already a world champion
Yes.
last year in Pontevedra. But are you studying at the moment? Are you
Yes.
juggling the two? Because is it like molecular biology is your thing, right?
Yes, I attend the university in my city, and I study molecular biology. So maybe I want to discover new medicals, and maybe to help someone also in the research or genetic illness. Yes, like this world is what I love. So yes, I'm studying and I'm training.
Yeah. Wow. So studying and working and training, or is it kind of all study?
No. Studying and training. It's enough.
Yeah, for sure.
And yes, during the previous month, I had to attend the university from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and also 2 training a day, 2 or 3 trainings a day. So it was very, very hard, but yes, now I'm more free, but I have to do some exams, so I have to study.
All right. Sam, any molecular biology insights on your side? Did you have a period of like study sport crossover as well, where you had to juggle the two, or?
Yeah, so I deferred uni when I left school from doing sports science and human movement like everyone else, and moved to Canberra, and I was training full time at the Australian Institute of Sport, and my previous coach Irina, she was like, look, sport may only be a year or two. It's not something you can rely on doing forever. So she recommended I, pick something easy to kind of study. And if I wanted to go back to uni when I moved back to Perth, or could manage it in a few years' time, could always go back to it. But I started doing a massage course, a diploma in massage. And over 5 years, I finished off, a 2-year course. So it was very part-time, but I've met some of the best mentors I, could ever meet in that field. And yeah, I'm pretty content kind of doing remedial massage now. And this past 2 years, like, I haven't been working all that much, stepped away from the clinic a bit, but I'll pick it up eventually.
For you both, I guess, but yeah, Francesca, with all that has happened over the last sort of 6 months and the excitement building, like that place on the Paris start line has been kind of booked in for a little while now. You're number one in the Paralympic rankings.
Yes, yes, I'm the first on the ranking, but only participate to an Olympic Games is fantastic, because it's my first, and I have started 2 years ago. So I'm very happy about the results that we have obtained. And yes, there is a little of pressure, and we want to do our best. So these are the last 2 months, and we will train very, very hard. And we hope to do well. Yes,
For sure. Sam, any hot tips as someone who's been at 2 previous Paralympics, albeit not in triathlon, but for you, London was due to be your first Paralympic competition, but illness took that opportunity away from you, right?
Yeah, that's right. I was in the staging camp here in Cardiff in the UK, and probably 2 weeks before my scheduled race in the T13 800, I started to get really tired, and just wasn't feeling well, and into a taper should be feeling good, and spoke to my coach, and yeah, we saw the doctor, and I was diagnosed with mononucleosis, or glandular fever, and kind of just started to get worse and worse as the days went on, and was then unable to compete at London in 2012. So yeah, it took a good 9 months to recover from that and get back to running similar times. And then the 800 was taken away from the Paralympic program for Rio. So it was a bit of a shuffle around. Tried the 400 for a bit. That wasn't so successful, and eventually got to Tokyo in the 1500 meters.
So get that, like, 9 month recovery period, was that literally getting rid of glandular fever, or was it also just overcoming like the flipping disappointment of 3 weeks out from your first games?
Yeah, I think I had some good people to kind of bounce to help kind of recover from the disappointment as such. There was a sports psychologist, Jason Patchell, and we were chatting, and I was still really sick at the time, really tired, and I was devastated. You wouldn't think that there'd be much that could stop you from a games, let alone a sickness. But this, in the week leading in, I was sleeping 18 to 20 hours, and it really just wasn't an option to race. And I spoke with Jason, and I was just like, look, it's pretty upset, a bit embarrassed. Like, it's not an opportunity you get ever again, really. Each Paralympics is quite different. And he kind of sat me down, and we chatted, and he was like, look, how would you feel if one of your friends was sick and couldn't compete? I was like, oh, well, I'd hope that they get better and recover, and yeah, like, I wouldn't really care. And he's like, that's your answer right there. So that kind of helped me out, hugely. And I was just set on resting and recovering, and yeah, like I said, it was probably 9 months before I was back at similar times. But yeah, my previous coach, Irina Divaskina, she was great. Nothing was rushed in that. I think that's probably another thing, trying to get back with motivation after that. It's really easy because you've just had a disappointing race and you want to do better. But she was great. She kind of, pulled me in line when I was getting a bit excited or getting a bit fitter, and it's like, look, your race is, not now. It's in a few months or a few years, or maybe it was 13 years later. But yeah, eventually got there.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess any advice for Francesca coming up to her first games? It's like, there's something to be said for the fact that you can be as like physically and mentally prepared as you like, but there's always those kind of externals that you have to prepare for in some way, right? Who knows what the next kind of couple of months could hold.
Yeah, I think, each games are so different that, well, I've been to two, but they've both been vastly different. And you just have to, even though London was a bad experience, it was still an experience and really valuable. So I think whether it's successful or not, there's still so much to kind of take from a preparations or a games. And yeah, ideally it all goes well and to plan, and that's what everyone prepares for. So just try for the A plan, and then if it's the B plan or C plan or D or E, just keep working for it.
Francesca, when you took up the sport, was it Paris 2024? Was that always the target?
No, I didn't expect this result, or I didn't dream Paris or nothing. I only started triathlon to try another sport, and then I obtained some results. So I decided to dedicate part of my life to this, and then my federation told me that there was this possibility to go to Paris. So I was really excited, and I started to train hard for this goal.
Can you just describe to us what it is you see, or I guess specifically don't see?
Yes, I was born with this condition. I have some tricks to adapt to the situation, and yes, I can see the light and the colors well, and when it's dark, not very well. So it's more difficult, and I see. Yes, like in a fog, far is more difficult, and near I can see more. So it's difficult to see far than thought meters. And when I'm moving, it's more difficult because yes, it's like in a fog, so I need a guide.
Yeah.
Yes.
So up close is reasonably clear, or
Yes.
and then does
Yes. Yes.
and then it becomes just shapes, does it? Different colored shapes.
Yes. Yes. I don't see maybe the faces or yes, but more is more clear. Sure.
And has that been consistent throughout your life, or has it?
Yes, not consistent. Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know how a normal person view. So it's difficult to explain what I see, what I don't see. Yes, because I'm born like this. So.
Yeah. Mm. So Sam, you're both B3 athletes, but does the way that Francesca described what she sees and doesn't see is somewhat different to yours, right?
Yeah, well, so I have choroideremia, which is a degenerative condition as well. So I was born with it, and it gets worse as I get older. But I've shifted into the B2 category now. We have like reviews every, depending on the classifiers, every 2 to kind of 4 years. So with my sight, I have no peripheral vision. So it's a bit like, I describe it a bit like looking through a tunnel. So you might have 180 degrees or to 210, quite a bit. Whereas I've got 8 degrees or 7 or something. So, it's quite small. Like if I'm looking at someone, it might just be their face or a bit less. And similar to Francesca, I can't see in the dark at all. It's like every girl's a 9. So, yeah, in the dark, I will rely on people a lot.
Right. But is that 7% pretty clear?
Oh, yeah, so 7 degrees, so it's probably even less.
Sorry, 7, yeah.
7%. But yeah, it's not quite perfect. Like I could wear glasses and would see quite well on the chart, but day to day around familiar environments, like pretty comfortable, I guess. So yeah, it is quite clear. I was gonna pick something on the wall and say I could see that, but within that 7 degrees, it's quite good.
And then drops off very quickly outside of that to just
like I wouldn't say it's black. I think your mind kind of plays tricks. If there's something that it's there, it might put in like a color of it, but then if something's moving, it's pretty quickly. I won't see it.
But then when it comes to sort of swimming alongside a guide, or indeed running, that is exactly what you can't see, therefore, right?
Yeah, so swimming, like ideally, I'm kind of looking at the guide's shoulder, and I try not to sight. Well, yeah, swim slower if you're sighting, I guess. So try not to sight. Not that I'm any good at it anyway, but yeah, I try to feel for the tether, and when it's on tension or swimming around buoys, Aaron will give me like a tap on the head, so like you know which way you have to turn, and that kind of comes with being more familiar with different courses as well. I think that plays a massive role for me. Like this was my 3rd year at Swansea, and was a really good result, and obviously had Aaron guiding with me there, which was amazing. But I felt a lot more comfortable going around even just the town of Swansea, kind of knowing where I was, and then through the race, just kind of knowing where different buildings were and different corners, having been over them a few times. So yeah, being familiar makes a massive difference for me.
Is that something you found as well, Francesca? Like going back to a course multiple times actually makes it somewhat more straightforward, or it's a nicer experience. And
yes, it's very very important. Yes, if I try a course lots of time, I learn it, so I can do easily. And yes, it's more comfortable. In Paris, we try the course on bike, run, and also the swimming during the familiarization. There was a bit of current, yes, but it can change maybe due to the conditions, and I don't even know if we will swim in the Seine now or not. So I don't know.
do you actually, which side when you're swimming, which side do you have your guide, and is it the same for both of you, or do you ever switch it up depending on, for example, the current in the Seine?
No,
given that it's a left-handed turn.
I'm in the near the buoy, so that the guide can turn and turn me. Yes, because if I'm external to the buoy, I go for my way, and yes, yes.
Is that the same, Sam? Is that kind of common across?
Oh, probably, yeah, not quite as good of a swimmer as Francesca. I kind of struggle to breathe to the right, so I tend to just keep on the left of the guide, or have the guide left of me. So yeah, I'll probably swim a touch further in Paris, but still probably better than drowning, breathing to the right.
Really, it's that is your very much your least favorite of the three.
Yeah, no, I like swimming. But yeah, I have a bigger background in running, I guess.
Yeah. So before, when we were organising this, I did ask you both to just come up with a couple of questions for each other. Francesca, did you have any question that you wanted to put to Sam?
Uh, Maybe the relationship with your guide. So, are you only guide and athlete, or you are also friends and know each other in the in the life of the day outside the training?
I guess for me, I've had four different guides into triathlon. I didn't really know any triathletes or before doing triathlon. My first guide was Luke Harvey, and by chance, you know, he was a junior athlete that had some time away from the sport with injury, and we were able to link up together. And he was a great guy, really helpful and kind, and I learned heaps from him. And then in the past 18 months, I've had three different guides. One was returning from retirement for the third time, Dave Manwaring, who was a guide for another Australian guy, Jonathan. Um, so he was happy to kind of help me out through a few races while Luke was injured. Then I crossed paths with another guy, Harry, and now, yeah, linking up with a fourth guy, Aaron Royal, for Paris, hopefully, who's the A1 pick. And yes, I hadn't started, didn't have a friendship with them before, but now definitely have built friendships with all of them, and I've got a great team of guides because if one of them gets injured, there's someone else to kind of help out.
Yeah, so Swansea was like your first race with Aaron, right?
Yeah, yeah. It had been a lot of discussions in the year leading into Swansea, how it would kind of work, and I'd only been with Aaron for probably 8 days for the Swansea race in total. So it was, yeah, probably went better than what, you know, we were both expecting. To be on the feet of Dave Ellis out of the swim was incredible. Running up the ramp, Aaron was fine. He's one of the best swimmers in the world, or if not the best. And he was like, "Oh, that was a great swim. You're just off Dave Ellis's feet." Meanwhile, I was, you know, burping and close to throwing up. But yeah, that was a huge kind of performance really for me.
Yeah, well, it was your first podium outside of Oceania at the series level, wasn't it? So, like a massive,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
at this stage of the Paralympic kind of build up too.
yeah. No, no, for sure. Yeah, if all goes to plan, I guess I'm still waiting to hear for a selection, but we'll plan to go to St. Moritz for 4 weeks, and then a week leading into Paris in Cercy, and then the village. So, you know, with 8 days, we had some good results, but hoping with 5 weeks, it'll be even better again.
Yeah, because you got to like I don't know. You've worked with Sylvia for a long time, right? Sylvia Viaggi. Is that how you pronounce her name, Francesca? Visaggi.
Yes, I had like three guides. The first one was Charlotte Bonen, that is she's the guide of Anna Barbaro. And when I started, I had her because I didn't know Silvia. And then I had another guide proposed to the federation, but for a short time, and then Silvia for the most longer period. So yes, we are together from like 2 years, and she is my guide, and yes, the only one for this period.
So again, you had never met each other before that first.
No.
You didn't know each other.
No, we didn't know each other, and she didn't know about para triathlon, about anything. But the federation, our federation, present us. She had stopped with the triathlon because before she was an athlete, and then she decided to stop. And with me, she decided to start again and try again because it was an opportunity. And so we started to train together. She is a good biker because she can guide well her bike, and so she learned to guide also the tandem. And yes, now she is training yes, for us.
So she was learning to guide at the same time as you met, basically. You were both learning at the same time, were you?
Yes. She has never non mi è salita sul tandem. She has never guided the tandem, yes, before.
Wow. I mean, that's pretty incredible that you can you can within 2 years become world champions. I mean, what is the what so looking back over these 2 years, what is the most important part of your relationship, or that she does during a race or training, I guess?
For me, it's very important to train together, and we in the last year we train more, but not too much because we are in different cities. So only during the training camp we meet, we can train together. In the last year we meet also in another part of Italy, and we are according autonomously from the federation, and to train together. And there she learned to guide really well the tandem. And we have a lot to learn because mostly in the swimming fraction, when we are together, we go slowly, then I'm alone or she is alone. Also in the swimming pool, when we swim together, we are slowly, then me alone. So we have to, I don't know, improve this. Yes, also if it's our force, but yes, we have to learn a lot.
I guess, Sam, coming out of para athletics into the triathlon family, as it were, like there's so many, under the umbrella of para triathlon, it's such a diversity of impairments, I guess. You have someone like Jetse Platt, or any of the wheelchair guys who are basically coming out of the water, having swum 750 meters, giving it full gas, and then they've got to use their arms again for the hand cycle and the weight race in wheelchair. For you guys, I guess you've just done the 750-meter swim. It could be choppy, and then you're coming out of the water exhausted, whatever, feeling like throwing up, like you said. For you guys, there must be like a huge amount of disorientation, hitting the ramp, coming up, like working your way into transition, getting the gear on. Is that one of the hardest parts of the PTVI racing, would you say? Or
yeah, for sure. Like I said, I guess kind of being familiar with the course makes such a massive difference. And I think, you know, this year, for example, running up the ramp at Swansea, I knew exactly kind of what the ramp was going to be. You come up the ramp onto the blue carpet, and there's like a slippery little bit where it goes onto the ramp and then it dips down on the blue carpet again and then dips back up. And, you know, I know kind of almost how many steps it took. So I think when I am more familiar with something, it is a lot easier. And if it's not, you know, I still get through the races, but that's probably due to the guides, you know, having good communication and showing me where to go, or, you know, before the race, walking me through the transition flow, how it would feel, you know, seeing how it feels underfoot. So I've got some familiarity with touch, not, you know, just sight. Like I said, it's pretty small, so if I look one way one time and then look another way or slightly different the next, it's like I'm in a different place almost. So having the guides there makes such a massive difference, really.
Yeah, Francesca, you know, coming from a more of a swimming background, when you were, you know, those first times on the tandem, those first times running tethered, was it quite a terrifying? Was there a lot of mental obstacles that you had to overcome to, you know, to feel like you could really perform as you would want to? It must be mentally, it must have been incredibly difficult, like you know, a certain level of fear to have to overcome, no?
No, my guide helped me. Yes. In this, she is very calm, so she calms me, and yes, she helps me. I don't know. And yes, we tried this in the familiarization part.
Yeah. Are you talking a lot on the bike and on the run? Is there a lot of conversation and her telling you what's
Yes,
to come?
mostly in the bike or during the transition. Yes, when we hop on the bike, I say go, 1, 2, 3, go when I'm ready, and that's also yes for the shoes to metterle, toglierle. To take on and take off the shoes. We talk and also in the curve. Yes, when the road isn't straight, but there is a turn, and she said to me, turn left, turn right, so I can I can move myself. And yes, and during the run. Mostly she encouraged me, so go. Yes, but in Japan she was finishes, so I'm encourage her.
Oh, she was on the floor and you were the one doing the driving, were you?
Yeah. Yeah, but only in Japan.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was yeah, so that was gold in Yokohama for you. Gold in Pontevedra as well last year at the World Championships. Obviously, Susana Rodriguez has been the number one for so long. Is it useful to have someone that high, and similar for you, Sam, I guess, with like a Dave Ellis or someone, but having come into the sport, Susana Rodriguez having dominated it for so long, you immediately know if you're going to, if you want to become the best, if you want to medal at the Paralympics, she is the standard, right? That is how good you know you have
Yes.
to be.
Yes, I think she is the standard, but also the other equipment are very strong. The German equipment that never race with us in this year,
Mhm.
and so I don't know. Yes, she is the standard, and I think she is stronger. Yes, also the Spanish Susanna is very strong, and she demonstrated it in Montreal. And yes, they have a stronger bike, I think, and they start 3 minutes before us. So, but never say never, because also in Japan we didn't expect to win, and also in Pontevedra. So we will see.
Yeah. When it comes to like an event like WTCS Yokohama or a Swansea, Sam, and do you feel like there's so many impressive characters and athletes around you in so many different, across all the different classes? Does it, do you feel part of like a tribe, and do you look around and just pick up nuggets of inspiration off all these other people and the things that they've overcome and achieved and so on? It's pretty phenomenal when you just take a moment to look around, isn't it?
It sure is. I think that's one of the biggest differences, and probably the coolest difference in athletics. You have the track's all the same, so it's done on times for qualifier. You have your standard time, and you either achieve it or you don't. Whereas in triathlon, each course is so different, and has its own challenges that you have to travel for points. So throughout the year, you might be racing against your competitors, 5, 6, just depending, quite a few times throughout the year, and you get to know them like a lot more. Like, I probably have quite good relationships with all the competitors in my category, and even quite a few from other categories, and spending a few days together really before the competitions, and flying out the next day or the day of sometimes. So you do build up relationships with people, and it's definitely a cool part of the triathlon sport.
Having come from the para-athletics world, and how was the sport kind of presented and covered, and what was there's obviously sports, like big sports like gymnastics, that don't even have any representation at the Paralympics. So how do you rank triathlon in that realm, and what do you think kind of needs still to be done to push the sport forward?
I think triathlon does a quite a good job in, maybe just compared to athletics, but the level of exposure is quite good of the para athletes, and quite a few. I don't think every WPTS is streamed, but a couple are, and obviously it's huge events when able-bodied athletes and para athletes are competing on the same venue, which is quite cool. But also realize having these standalone events like Swansea are also pretty cool, where it's just para athletes. So yeah, I think triathlon does quite a good job. For going forward, there's so much, I guess, like a para athlete can sell. It's almost like you see just having a bit of a blank, but you see Michael Phelps, and he's superhuman, and people, most people could never even dream of being like him. He's just standalone. But you can, when you're in the para side of things, you have this level of adversity people are going through, and still being able to get through these para triathlons, and pretty darn quick as well. And it's just another layer that is there, and if you can explain it a little bit, it's really cool, and maybe just help someone else see another challenge that they can overcome a little bit as well. There's it just kind of shows that there's some ways around some obstacles people might have.
Para triathlon is a very tricky sport to convey on TV when there's so much going on the course at the same time, right? I mean, how is it for you out there as athletes? There's a bit more separation now, but yeah, it is a difficult sport to cover from a television perspective.
Yes, because there are lots of athletes of different categories in the same time. So it's difficult also as an athlete. For example, in Montreal, during the bike course, we had PTS, and he continues to superare. To over us, and then on the back, so it was really difficult, and also to make direct on TV or screen when my family, for example, watches the race. They don't understand nothing because it's in English and there are a lot of categories, so they don't understand what place I am, or the difference between the others. So it's a little bit confusing. But for me, it's very cool to see on real, because there are free sports and also the transition. So it's a spectacular sport. And also, I think the multi-lap course, for people who see it are better. For me as an athlete, I prefer one lap course on bike, but I know it's more spectacular, the multi-lap. So yes.
And the good thing about the Paralympics is it's spread over 2 days, right? Which never happens in any of the series races. So it just gives that much more
Yes.
room for the
For me, it's
story of the race.
very yes, it's better because we are more separated. So during the course, I think it's better. Yes.
Yeah, Sam, just, talking to the Paralympics and exposure of the athletes, I guess. Interested to hear your take on some. I don't know how much you're on social media and so on, but the Paralympic Instagram and TikTok account, for example, they've gone down a very sort of specific route with. I don't know if you saw the thing with Brad Snyder the other day, where he was in transition and they played some like Mozart music, and he couldn't see his bike and was like feeling for it, and they've shown like athletes in the swimming pool like smashing their head on the pool, and it's on the side of the pool, and it's the reality of para racing. But I don't know, for some people it can feel a little bit uncomfortable. I'd be fascinated to know what your kind of take on that angle is, because it's hugely viewed. Some of those, like, it's one of the biggest, that the Brad Snyder thing is one of the biggest that we've one of the most viewed on social media.
Yeah, I think I'm a pretty relaxed person, so I think probably in intent, if there's bad intent behind something like that, then it's a bit different. Where I think those videos are pretty cool, really. Like they're just that unique side of the Paralympic sport, and it's it's not the same as the Olympics, nor should it be the same. And the exposure, I think, has just been growing since, well, all the time really, but seemed like Beijing was quite a huge stepping stone. And then being in London, having seen what it was like around Cardiff, like they had huge posters of all the para athletes, and there were household names. And then to go to Rio and Tokyo again, and I think being in Australia, it was the same time zone, and during COVID as well, there was massive exposure on TV ratings that everyone was stuck inside. So it was just everyone was watching the Paralympics every day, which was massive. And I think people really enjoyed kind of having the opportunity to watch it, whether it was because of COVID or not. I think it's still really followed through to Paris, and I think it's just the one avenue that can get more exposure.
Yeah, I mean, in the last 3 months, like 4 of our top 7 social media posts have been from Para Triathlon. 4 out of 7, and that's 10 million people that have seen those 4, and it just shows that the audience is there, and like I said, there's no reason why a Jetta Platt or Alexis Hankinson or Susana Rodriguez shouldn't be viewed on the same level as like a Michael Phelps, right? Or these are all-time great athletes in their field.
Yeah, and like absolutely amazing athletes, and they have this story of adversity that they can still go out and do these amazing performances as well. So yeah, I think there's more to unpack with a para athlete potentially.
Are you ready for the spotlight, Francesca? The Paris 2024. It's going to be. You've done big races. Yokohama is kind of as big as they get on the series circuit as well. But Paris, everything around it is going to be a very different, very exciting beast, no?
Yes, I'm quite ready. I can't imagine it at all. And yes, the atmosphere, I think that in Olympic Games is very different from the other races. So I will go there and I will do my best. And yes, I think I'm quite ready. Yes.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be a great competition. I think there could be, 6 guys who are pretty disappointed that they didn't get onto the podium, or 8 other guys who are, not so happy that they weren't on the top of the podium. So it'll be a great competition, I think.
Yeah, you imagine someone like Dave Ellis is going to be racing for their lives after the kind of disappointment of, being top of the world at Rio and it wasn't part of the schedule, and then obviously he had his mechanical in Tokyo. But for you, what you need to, where you need to make small gains, right? And this must be a very exciting, interesting part for you to dial in those bits and make that challenge for those medals as swing in your favor as much as possible.
Yeah, I was actually on a call before this one with Aaron and my coach Philo Saunders and my swim coach Yuri Divachenko, and we were talking about the small changes that we've gonna try and make for these next 2 months to try get close to that podium or stand on the top. It'll be ideally, if I am winning, I want to win by as much as possible, or if I'm losing, I want to lose by as little as possible. And like I said, there could be 6 other guys who are disappointed that they're not on the podium, or the 8 that maybe wanted to be on the top as well. It's quite a tough category, so whatever the situation is, we'll be well prepared for any of it.
Brilliant. Well, guys, really appreciate the time. Brilliant to kick off this series with you both. Wish you all the best for the next couple of months, and particularly on the 1st and 2nd of Paris, 1st and 2nd of September, when all eyes are on Paris for the Paralympics. So, very best of luck. Great. And look forward to seeing you out there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Take care.